Hello, everybody. Marlene, aka Snowgardener 307. We are here today. We're just going to do a pack with me. That is part of my business. This is how I make my income now. Now that I retired early from the sheriff's office, Snowgardener 307 LLC is my full time income. The majority of my income comes from product sales. YouTube is a secondary, budgeting services, a third resource, I guess. I don't have any sort of sponsorships or anything at this time. I'm not sure if I'm going to go into that realm. It's a little bit scary for me, but we're going to go ahead and pack some of our book orders. I've just got 8 orders right here. They're all just unbound books. They're all the same. So it makes it easy to pack them with you guys watching because there are no names of customers or anything I have to blur out. I am super excited about this new book. I love all of our books. Shannon is such an amazing artist, and I love that I am able to utilize her artwork and I give her an idea and she runs with it. So she comes up with all the concepts of the actual individual drawings by herself. I say, I want to do a Christmas book with the characters. She draws everything. And so then she draws everything and I turn around and design the book. So let's go ahead and flip around. We're going to go ahead and see how this setup is for packing orders. My office is quite small. It's quite packed of things. And so I just use my desk to pack orders. And a lot of times, you guys, when I'm packing orders, it is a hot mess. As in so many things in my life. But today I've pretty much cleaned that up for you guys. And I'm just going to chit chat with you guys stuff about business. I do not have an agenda. I don't have a list of things that I want to talk to you guys about. So this is just going to free flow conversation like I typically do on all the videos. So let's go ahead and turn it around. Let's get these orders packed up so I can take them to the post office. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and fill the envelopes. You do get a special thank you that is a postcard that comes with a challenge with this book. You also get a sticker. And so generally when I'm packing orders, I will take the time to make up a whole bunch of these. And then that way when I go to pack the orders, it is no big deal and it goes much, much quicker. This month has been a little bit crazy with everything and getting a new book out while I was out of the country. And honestly, this is the least prepared that I've been for a launch. But hey, I guess it happens, right? I didn't do a lot of advertising on this book, and I know I dropped the ball there just because, if you advertise before you release products, you generally have better sales. Marketing 101, right? I never took any marketing classes. Apparently, I should think about taking some marketing classes. And I just thought about it. I'm going to go ahead and add one of my business cards in here as well. I still have some old business cards that still have scratch-offs on them. So I'm trying to utilize those up so that I can not waste anything. I try very hard to not waste things in my business. I'm not always successful. But of course, everything I waste is a cut in profit, and we don't like that. So like I said, these are my older cards. They don't even have this new channel on here, but they do have a little savings challenge on the back. And so some of these people have probably already gotten a business card. Some may not have. I don't know if these are new orders, new people, things like that. But so we'll go ahead and stuff one of those in there. And I love the fact that with the standardized little thank you, it makes packing orders that much easier. In the beginning, I used to write a handwritten note to everybody that had orders. Then life got busy and my sales last year, of course, were quite good. And because of that, it just took too much time, especially with working a full-time job. Now, there are some little thank yous that I'll still like write your name on the top of it, and I might sign it, or I might put a little heart on it or something like that. And of course, the dogs have to start barking because that is what my dogs do. They want to go outside, but it's raining, so they're not going outside. So we've got these ready to go. We've got a little book of Christmas savings. These are the freebie because these were all purchased during the sale where if you bought one of the books, you got a little book of Christmas savings for free. Let's go ahead and do a little assembly line of these books. Like I said, I've just got 8 orders and they are all exactly the same, so I don't have to worry about customer names or anything. I don't put any sort of receipt inside. It's just not something that I have ever done. And I just threw something on the floor. What did I throw on the floor? Oh, the stickers that we're going to need. I'm like, what did I throw on the floor? It's a good thing that I saw the stickers, because I would be looking for those when we close all of these up. And an assembly line, if you've got a lot of orders that are the same, they work the best. I know a lot of creators have like little baskets and they'll go pull orders for people and stuff. For me, because everything is so close together, I generally just use my desk. And like I said, it can be a little bit messy. But today, since we're doing all of these that there's the same, it's not too shabby. I am so excited about this new book. 2 new books, actually. Both of these books are brand new for July. And I am Christmas crazy myself, so anything Christmas related is one of those things that just brings me a lot of joy. And of course, the reason why I started this business, well, the reason why I started YouTube, not knowing it was going to be a business, was twofold. I, of course, wanted to have people help hold me accountable for my budgeting choices. And then I also just wanted a fun outlet and something positive in my life. And so that is, how my business started. So like I told you guys, next week I'm going to do Q&A. So make sure you let me know what kind of questions you have, because I love to share with you guys. And sometimes it's just, honestly, it's hard to think of things to say. So I'm going to go ahead and close these just with these little Snow Gardener 307 LLC stickers. And we're just going to close these up. I try to get them pretty square so that they close up nice and tight, so that there isn't a lot of room to where they can move around in the package. So I generally just fold them over like this and then try to get a sticker off one-handed. And so there we go. And then of course I will put these into padded mailers. Padded mailers are my favorite, but I do use boxes too. If enough books are ordered. That's one of the things that I think is the hardest for when you start your business, is figuring out all of the logistics of what you need to pack your orders, how you're going to pack your orders. Because of course, when I first started my business, I only did printables, and I enjoyed that because I was so busy at the sheriff's office and working so many hours that I didn't want to take time to do physical products. But here we are all these years later, and these physical products are part of what allowed me to leave that position. So we're going to pack all of these up. And this video is probably not going to be that long compared to some of the others, just because I'm already running out of things to say. And I don't know why, you guys. I think it's because I don't want to tell too many stories, because I want you guys to be able to ask questions for the next video. And of course, this video and this channel, are so new that I'm still forming my vision on what I want it to look like. And I think because my vision is not fully complete yet about what I want this channel to look like, I think I hesitate a little bit in content creation. And what I need to do is just get over that, right? Being a content creator is one of those things where you have to create content. You have to have new content coming out. And, for me, when people ask what I do, it is kind of funny. The past few months since I've left the sheriff's office, people ask me what I do for a living, and it's one of those questions that I have a hard time answering. And it's not that I'm embarrassed by my business. I'm very proud of my business and stuff. But, I'll just tell people that I'm a content creator, or that I have my own business is generally what I say. And then people are like, oh, what do you do? Then I have to come up with the verbiage of what I do. And sometimes I'll say things like, I'm a little baby influencer. I know my circle is small, but I am what would be classified as an influencer. And for me, one of the most important things about all of my channels that you'll see is I don't want to turn into one of these influencers that sells out, right? That is doing stuff that is not honest, like creating stuff for content that's not even true in their life. And that is one thing that you will never see from me on any of my channels, because I despise it so much. I don't like it. And so, staying real is important to me and my business and my brand, right? Because Snow Gardener 307 is a brand. And if you guys don't know where Snow Gardener 307 came from, the name, that's a question you can ask if you want. I won't give the answer now. Some people know. Or why 307 is in my name. Like I said, some people are going to know this. I've talked about this in other videos and stuff on my other channel. But there is a lot to having your own business, starting your own business. And when I was watching a video today, it was an older video, and it was Hannah Alonso. I don't know if you guys know her channel or not. She is an anti-MLM and an influencer. And she also does like an influencer insanity video. And on this video that I was watching, it was talking about these influencers, aka creators, that have lost their way. And the dogs are barking again. And she's talking about these influencers, as I was saying, sorry, the dogs were barking, that have lost their way, or that they lie in their content to create content. They also do the rage baiting, right? Where they do stuff where people will interact because they're doing something that's completely insane, from making a huge coffee that is obvious that nobody would drink that type of coffee, or whether they are cooking something that is absolutely ridiculous. So she was talking about that type of stuff. And I don't know why. I just like her content. She is engaging. She is personable, and I just enjoy her content. Now, of course, I do still watch quite a bit of budgeting content, but I also have moved on from a lot of budgeting content. And on her channel, she was also talking about, in one of her anti-MLM, she was talking about a story of a woman who was in an MLM. And that's multi-level marketing, just in case you guys don't know. And I was in an MLM before. I used to sell Pampered Chef. And I am not anti-MLM, but I have definitely seen how a lot of MLMs can cost a lot of people money, because people are promising it will fix their life, all of this stuff, and they have to put a bunch of money in for it. But she was talking about this woman and how in her business she was doing, working from home, but she had kids and all of that stuff, and how her family noticed that she stopped paying attention to her children. I can tell you guys that is where I felt myself going with the Pampered Chef. And when I stopped doing the Pampered Chef full time and started at the sheriff's office, it was in 2012. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to pull away from the Pampered Chef. I loved it. And like I said, I know a lot of people have opinions about MLMs, and they can be good, they can be bad. I enjoyed my time with the Pampered Chef. I made sure for the people that joined my team that I did not promise them that they would make, $1 million. And for me, I generally, about 90% of my income came from myself and not from my team, which of course is another thing that is important, because then I'm not having to recruit anybody. I'm going to do some books, you guys. We're going to still chat a little bit. So you're not having to recruit anybody to earn the incentives and the trips and stuff. And I need to hole punch some more books. So let's just hole punch some books so I can show you guys this. So I've already done these ones here. This is how I put my books together. So all of these come obviously with no stickers, and then I sticker them all and I hole punch them all. This is part of the reason why the books are a higher cost item. And this is the reason why when you get an unbound book, that it doesn't cost you as much, because I don't have to do as much work. And in my books, in all of my products, my time is considered in the price of the book. So, and if you guys are interested, I could probably do a video on, how I price my things, if that's something that you guys are interested in. But yeah, so it just kind of struck a chord with me today when I was watching that video. And I was like, that's exactly where I was. And it's funny, I don't have children at home now, right? Because Hannah was talking as a creator herself, as an influencer. She has a young daughter, and she was talking about how hard it is to work at home, have children, and make sure that you're being a good mother, a good father, a good parent to the children at home. And so now both of my children are grown, of course, but I even find that's true for my dogs. And I know that might sound silly to some of you guys, but there are days when I am in my office the whole day. And of course, they get to go in and out and they get to do all of that stuff, but I don't pay as much attention to them. Like, I don't sit on the couch and let them lay on my lap and pet them and, do that type of bonding stuff. And it kind of cracks me up because here I am, an empty nester, and I am finding myself in a similar situation to where I was before, except for now I am worried about my dogs. And so I've kind of done a 360, if you would say, or maybe a 180. I don't know. But it just kind of cracked me up. So I don't know why I thought of that, but I just want to make sure that, like I said, on this channel, on all of my channels, that, one of my taglines is that I'm keeping it real. I don't want to share content with you guys that is not real, right? I'm not going to be here faking content to make sure that I've got engagement. And that could be why my channel, that my main channel, let's see, my budgeting channel, I was just looking at this. I just uploaded my 5th video for this week, you guys. So it was a good week today. I did a bonus video of sinking funds because I wanted to get those counted up. And of course, I know a lot of people like to watch counting videos, but let me look at this really quick and see how many videos I have done. I've got to look and pull it up because I feel like I'm getting close to 1,000 videos. That's a lot of content. Let's see, 919 videos is where I'm at, and I haven't hit 7,000 subscribers yet. So I am a very slow growing channel, and I'm okay with that. And so, of course, I know YouTube and, content creation as well as products. There are so many channels and there are so many creators and influencers in the market now that I really think that affects people. And of course, one thing too is, some people have this video that goes viral and it can be their first video and they get, 1 million views on their first video. Now, I don't believe they can be monetized anymore off of that first video, but they're dang close. They have to do like 2 more videos is all, and they'll be monetized. But of course, I haven't had a viral video. I don't know what it takes to do a viral video. I've done some research in the beginning and I would worry about the algorithm and all of that stuff. And now I've decided that's not important to me. And maybe it should be since this is my business, but I don't want to chase an algorithm. So if that's one of the things that you guys ask a question about, I don't know the secret. I don't know the secret for anything. I know some people ask me, how I got my channel monetized, and all I can say is that I grinded, right? I did videos and I made sure that I had the watch hours. And the funny thing is I had my watch hours way before I had my subscribers. And, so on both of my channels, I had the watch hours before I had the subscribers. On this channel, it might be opposite. I think I might end up with the subscribers before I get the watch hours. And that's because I already have a platform. A lot of you guys came from my other channel, so it made it easier. So I think I'm close to 500 on this video, or on this, not video, on this channel now. And that's halfway to being monetized. But like I also told you, I didn't start this channel to get monetized. I didn't start my other channels to get monetized. However, once you start getting close and you start thinking about the extra money you could earn, it's one of those things that a lot of people aspire to. I will tell you guys that I don't make that much money from my videos. I just don't. Okay, I'm making sure I'm not messing up my order. Sorry, you guys can't see everything I'm doing, but I'm kind of, let's see, I'm going to scoot you guys down a little bit. So obviously I'm hole punching these, but I am not going to be the answer for how do I get my YouTube channel monetized, because I don't know the answer besides create content, do the best that you can. I know one thing that was said to me, which is why I had 2 channels, was in order to get monetized, you need to have, one platform, one topic. And so I had started my channel with doing silly little Christmas crafts, along with some budgeting stuff, along with some cooking. And I started it during Vlogmas. So I started, with some Christmas decorating and stuff. And when I started seeing that my numbers were going up and down and I was trying to figure out what was going on, I ended up deciding to split my channels. And so that's how come I have 2 channels. Now I have a 3rd channel because I'm crazy. That's all I can tell you guys. I am crazy sometimes. I get a vision in my head and I'm excited to share. And so that is what this channel is about. And, just make sure you ask me some questions for next week's video. I would really appreciate it. I love to share things. I love to teach. That's one of my favorite things. I love to teach people. And of course, YouTube is a good source for videos from all kinds of different creators about all kinds of topics where, people are getting taught to do stuff. You can get on YouTube and learn how to do anything. Don't know how to change your oil? Get on YouTube. You can find videos how to do that. Do you need to figure out why your garden isn't growing? Get on YouTube. Find about that. Are you giving it too much water? Is your soil content not good? Need to want to learn how to use an Excel spreadsheet? Get on YouTube, right? There's videos about everything. And so I think me loving to teach is another reason why YouTube, because, well, I'm not your teacher per se. I am sharing things that people can learn from. And of course, before the sheriff's office, obviously I did Pampered Chef, and I also worked in the school system. And so I taught, obviously, in the school. And when I did Pampered Chef, I taught, you guys. I really did. I would find all kinds of kitchen facts. I would do research. I loved teaching people how to save money while they were cooking. I know that shocks you guys to hear that. How to save money, how to save time. I would teach things that would make things last longer. And, that was one of those things. Now, at the sheriff's office, one of my favorite things was to teach there as well. So I was an FTO, a field training officer. I was the lead FTO for quite some time, but that is very political and very stressful. And in law enforcement, being a teacher is super stressful anyway, because of course, you as an instructor or as an FTO are liable for the deputies and the officers that you train. So that's kind of scary. But I also was the lead taser instructor. So I would teach taser. And I also did an alcohol, not compliance, but an alcohol. I did tips, which is a server bartender class, which of course helped them to do their jobs better. That was one of my favorite things that I taught because I loved teaching the general public because, first of all, they were way nicer to me than my coworkers. They were better students because they actually were listening, which was nice. And I always used to tease my coworkers about that, saying that they were the worst students ever. But I just enjoyed it because I am very social and I love helping people. And I think that for me right now, one of the things that's bringing me the most joy in my business is my new series that I started on Friday on my budgeting channel. And it's called Back to the Basics. And this last month, I've worked with a few different people. The only person that you've seen on my channel has been Charlotte. And helping Charlotte and her family figure out their budget, help them set goals, and see where they're starting at now and where they've already made it in a month brings me great joy. And I am hopeful that I can start offering more of those services at a lower cost because it's not cheap for me to set up your budget. But depending on what your budget is, it takes a lot of my time. And if I'm setting your budget up or somebody else's budget up, then I am not creating products, which means I'm not making money. And so I have to think about it in a business mindset. But I wish that, I could help everybody with their budget for free. But I cannot. Now, I did say on today's video, I'm filming this on Friday, just so you guys know. I did say on today's video that Charla will be getting she got her August budget for free. And the reason why I did this is because I am making money off of Charla's story. She is sending me her weekly budgets. and we are talking multiple times via email, updating, all of that type of stuff. And so for me, I'm invested in Charlotte and her family, right? I'm invested in their success. I am invested in helping them in their journey. Now, Charlotte did pay me for the first month, and I have a feeling she might have put it on a credit card. Shame on her, because her budget was such a mess, but she knew she needed help. And so now I want to ensure that they continue on how they need to go. I want her story to inspire other people. And so for me, it's bringing me great satisfaction and joy. It's kind of, oops, I just hit the camera with my hat. Sorry about that, you guys. I've got a ball cap on today because it was a no hair wash day today. And quite honestly, I woke up not feeling well today. So, but I'm still here, you guys. I'm still here filming, still here doing the business. It's Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. And if the weather is good, it is going to be a lake day. I already talked to my husband and I said, I don't care what else we have to do. We're going to the lake. It is almost August, or it is August, and we have not spent enough time outside. So that's what we're going to do. But back to that series. It brings me great joy. And I believe that it inspires other people as well, which is what I enjoyed so much about my personal content as I was going through my debt journey, sharing the successes and everything. But helping others is so much more satisfying than helping myself. And it's just one of those things. It brings me great joy. And I'm happy to share the joy with you guys. I hope it helps you guys. And of course, that's what I want to do on this channel too. Like I said, I don't have a clear vision yet. And, that's part of the creative process. I know that. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to just flow with it a little bit more, right? Just flow with it. Whatever comes out of your mouth when you're filming YouTube, because you want to keep it real, is what people get. You guys will notice that my videos are not over edited on any channel. I do have to edit some of them. My members only videos are generally unedited. So they get the good, the bad, the ugly. If I mess up, if the dogs start barking, they get all of that. Like this video, I will edit and take the dogs barking out. I also was, in the beginning, honestly, fumbling a little bit. So I think I have 3 intros of the video, and I didn't like any of them. So, I still do that, but I'm learning. So you guys, this is the front cover of the book that I'm doing now. So this has 12 pages. So I have hole punched different quantities of these books, obviously, because I just grabbed a random stack. When I order these, they come generally in stacks of 250 books is what they come in. And so today, because I needed unbound books, I went ahead and grabbed some of those out, but I have orders for more bound books, and I just bent that a tiny bit, but I think it will be okay because it stuck on my Rollo label printer there. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Just about done hole punching these. Now you guys can see I literally sit here and hole punch every page, and I do use a hand punch, obviously, and it has seen a lot of books, and I have to make sure that I dump it quite often, because if not, there is one hole that gets clogged up, and I tend to mess books up then because they won't go in all the way, and then I punch, and then I have messed up a page. Of course, I will offer imperfect books for a discounted rate when I've got them, ones that I've messed up on or whatever. And, because I mess up on a lot of stuff. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me today for packing just a few orders, for hole punching some pages, and just some chit chat. Make sure you get your questions in. I will probably film next weekend's video, I would say Thursday or Friday. So if you have a question, get it put down. And of course, today is the 1st. And so next Friday is the 8th. So that's probably when I'll film the 7th or the 8th. So that gives you some time. It can be a question, like I've said in the other videos, about absolutely anything. If I don't want to answer it, then I won't. And that's how it goes. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me today. And until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.